Welcome back to another UO Forever tutorial. I'm going to walk you through your first steps if you're looking to gain Magery on your character. So we started our character with 50 Magery. We can go check that inside of our new player stats here. Our Magery is at 50. The other important skill that goes along with Magery is meditation. That's going to allow us to regenerate our mana very quickly. Mana regeneration also depends on the type of armor you're wearing. You can regenerate while wearing leather armor, but it will be at a substantially lower rate. So we actually want to lose our armor for right now if we want to cast some spells. And we're going to run down to the scribe shop where we'll be able to purchase some scrolls to add to our spellbook. Because right now our spellbook only has 13 spells in it, and we'd like to add a couple more of our 4th level spells and maybe some 3rd level as well. So let's run down southeastern Britain here towards the river, and just along the river, south of the southern bridge here. There's 3 bridges in Britain that go east-west, and south of the southern one is the scribe shop. We're going to go in here, and we're going to open up the vendor, see what he can do for us. So we'll open up the interaction window with our scribe here, and we'll scroll down some spells. So see, there's a whole bunch of different options here. There's really only a couple we need at this moment before we start filling our spellbook up. And those are Creator Heal, which we already have. Lightning is a really good one, it's a direct damage spell. And then Recall. Lightning is direct damage. Recall is a teleportation spell, which we'll have another video about in the future once we get access to some runes and things like that, because what Recall lets you do is teleport around the world really easily using these things called Recall runes, which you can buy from any mage shop. So now that we've got our spells, I guess we should add them to our spellbook. So remember, you left click on the scroll when you bought, and then click Add to Spellbook, and then click on the spellbook you have in your bag. So I've added Lightning and Recall. Oh, I already have Lightning, that's great. And I'm going to create macros for those now. So I'm going to go into my options, add, and then click add, and then F will be my hotkey for use spell lightning, and then I'm going to make a macro for recall, which I usually use F3. I don't know, I've used that since Ultima Online came out. Kind of stuck with it. Okay, and another macro that we want to have to go along with our spell casting is target self. So I've always used X, so I'm going to hit add X. And the reason we want a target self macro is so that we can cast heals really easily, cast heals on ourselves really easily. So that we X target self, and then when I cast heal, when I'm in danger, I can now just hit X and it'll automatically heal me. And so the fastest way for you to gain Magery early on will be simply to use your magic spells to heal yourself and also to do some damage to monsters. So let's go try out our lightning on a couple monsters at the graveyard. So there's lightning. You'll see I'm gaining Magery and I'm gaining meditation. One thing about Magery is that another skill that goes along with it is evaluate intelligence, and it's a skill that we don't actually have right now in our character template. If you want to do more damage with your spells, you need to have that as one of your skills in your template. Now, in order to add that to our list of skills, we'd have to take something out, because we want to make sure we get all these skills to 100, and right now we don't really have room for evaluating intelligence, which means this character is not going to be using magical spells to do much direct damage, but rather we'll simply be using spells to heal, cure, and move around more easily, rather than using them as their main form of damage. We'll be using our sword for main form of damage, but Magery is still a skill you want to have on all your characters. So getting it up early on, the easiest way to do that is simply to use it to heal yourself sometimes. So right now, I'll try to heal myself. You'll see I got interrupted there. Monsters can disrupt you while you're casting a spell, so you need to make sure you run off, and then you heal yourself and use your target self macro. And then we can keep fighting. We also still have our bandages in case our healing spells don't work. Heal spells are also really useful to heal friends. If you've got friends around, you can quickly pull off away from the enemies, pull up your heal, and then target them with that spell. that about covers the basics for what we're looking for from Magery right now. There'll be another video that goes in a little more depth into other spells that are available to you and how to actually raise your Magery more effectively rather than just casting it on creatures and yourself. A few last things about Magery that I meant to add into the basics here. Once you're low on mana, you're going to want to be able to regenerate that mana quickly, and meditation gives you some passive regeneration of your spells, but there are also ways for you to activate the skill. And so what we're going to do right now is create a hotkey. We're going to go to add, and we'll make mine F2 here, and we're going to make a macro to use skill, and the skill we're going to use is meditation. And you'll see that it says you cannot focus your concentration. That means we failed to start meditating, and we have to wait about 10 seconds till we can use it again. Once you succeed and it says you enter a meditative trance, you can start regenerating your mana very, very quickly. At this point, it doesn't really matter because we have such a low amount of mana, but once you start casting high-level spells that cost 40 and 50 mana in a row, you're going to want to be able to stop and meditate. And so let's try that right now. There you go. You enter meditative trance. And now if we sit still and we open up our stat window, we'll see how quickly our mana is going up. It's going up more quickly than it would as if we were running around, just letting the passive go up. So it's ramping up there. Whereas if we were just running around and watching it, it would go up a little bit more slowly. As you can see, it's slowed down a lot relative to when I'm standing still and meditating. So having that hotkey to meditate is a great thing when you're outside of combat and no one's around. And then you can run back in and cast a few more spells. You always want to be aware, keeping track of how many reagents you have. So that's those ingredients to cast spells. So if I go back in and I know that lightning, which ingredients does lightning cost? Let's go in and check in our spell book. Lightning costs Mandrake Root and Sulphurous Ash. Let's take a look. 40 and Mandrake Root. 33. So I can only cast 33 more lightning bolts before I have to go to town. Luckily, I just found some gold on this creature, and I can head back to town and go buy some more reagents. Now, the place where you buy reagents is the same place where we bought scrolls earlier, and that is at the Maid Shop in northern Britain. So let's go run there and take a look. So once we're in here, I'll show you a little trick here. We can actually type vendor buy, and that'll bring up the window of the nearest vendor. And so we see that the prices here: Black Pearl, Blood Moss, Mandrake Root. We need a couple Mandrake Root, so I'm going to buy about 20 more so we can go out and keep casting our lightning bolts to keep gaining skill. So I'll buy let's buy 30 of each. Then we can run back out there and keep casting our lightning bolts. Now you should check out another video I'm about to put up, which is about how to gain meditation really easily and quickly.